Okay, what's good, YouTube? Thank you for coming back for episode 3. We're still on the walkthrough on the Ranger build, and we're going to be playing through the Act 3, going through basically the ins and outs of what I do. Where we left off last time, I don't think I've done anything. It's been a few days, so we're just going to go quickly over my skill tree just quickly before. I don't think there's much changed. Just going for some extra life nodes. If you've watched any of the other videos previously, thank you very much for watching. And we're just going to go into it. So I've got some skill points to spend first, so I'm just going to go ahead and get more life. And yeah, so the build was actually pretty good last time that I played. Like I said, it's been a few days, so it's just going to take me a couple of minutes to probably get used to, the play style again. But it's a basic play style, just rain of arrows. We've got a couple of ballistas for single target. Yeah, so on the last video we went through Act 2. We've got a couple of skill gems like Herald of Ice. We got Precision in Act 1, so we've got some mana reservation here. So yeah, let's get into it. So this first zone here, which is the City of Sarn, you've just got to come here, free Clarissa, and then head over to the Sarn encampment. We're just trying to kill as many mobs on the way there. We are a bit over leveled, so it's a level 23 zone, we're level 26, so we might just speed this along a little bit. Get into town. Now, if you don't have anything that you need to vendor, you've got some free space in your bags. Let's have a quick look. We've got a bow there, which I think we were crafting. So I'll keep hold of that for now. Stiletto, yeah. So we don't have much bag space. Let's have a look. So we've got 149 mana. It's 100. Yeah, 170 mana is a little bit better. That pot, the flask that we've got, is a little bit better. So we're just going to head straight into the slums. We're not going to bother vendoring. We're just going to literally run straight through. Like I said in the previous video, you don't need to pick up the quests. You can just go into the next zone and just carry on. But if you do have to vendor, just go to town, quickly get rid of all the stuff, and then just move on. If you feel like you need to upgrade your rings or something, you can go into town and buy some rings, some amulets, or top up on some wisdom scrolls or anything like that if you need to. So in this zone, we are looking for two things. We're first looking for an entrance to, it's like a crate on the floor, which is going to be a zone we go to in a little bit. We're not quite there yet, but it's going to allow us to just locate it ready for when we do have the key ready to open it. I don't think I found it. I imagine it's down here on the map somewhere. I just didn't explore. But we will be coming back into this zone in a little bit. We've just got to go to the crematorium first. When we're there, we're going to find the key. We've got to kill somebody there who drops us the key. Which way are we going? There is a boss here. I don't think he drops anything. We've got a Grand Life Flask. We'll upgrade the Grand Life Flask for our Greater Life Flask, which we don't need anymore. And yeah, so if you've been watching the previous videos, you should, or if you haven't watched them, feel free to go and watch it, because there is some stuff in there that you probably haven't picked up on, especially if you're a new player, that will definitely help you. So definitely go there, have a quick look, check the first two videos out. They're about an hour long a piece, but there's quite a lot of stuff in there. Oh, I forgot to mention about Act 3. Something really good about Act 3 is we now can drop. Let me just have a quick look at this. That's actually better for me. So we're going to drop this. We can drop 4 linked items now. So see, this one's got 4 sockets. You can actually drop them with 4 links. So we will be looking out for that, because we do need a triple green, 3 greens and a red for elemental damage with attack support. So this support gem says supported attacks deal 20% more elemental damage. And we are kind of going for like an elemental Rain of Arrows build. So you're going to be doing fire, you're going to be doing lightning and cold damage. I think the majority of it comes from, the majority of your damage will come from the cold damage itself. So we're definitely going to want that, 100%. So in this place there is, again, I've got this quest line here, travel to the Sun encampment. That usually means that we do have a Trial of Ascendancy that we could do here. I can't remember if I thought I had a Rain of Arrows somewhere. I do have to pick up Rain of Arrows, the Val skill. So I might go through that in a little minute just to show you how we go about getting it. But it's going to probably eat into some other currency that I don't have yet. So Val Rain of Arrows is basically a more powerful version of Rain of Arrows. You can get a lot of skills as Val skills. You can only use them like once every so often. You have to gain souls by killing enemies, and then once you've killed enough enemies, it'll give you a one-time use basically, and then you have to rinse and repeat. But I think it's going to be, I think on my Path of Building link, the one that's in the description in both the videos, and it'll be in this description as well on this video, it says that we need Val Rain of Arrows. So we're going to go ahead and try and look for that. There's two ways we can get it. I'd say the easier way is by getting some Val Orbs. They're not too uncommon, but the hard part is trying to turn a Rain of Arrows into a Val Rain of Arrows. You've just got to basically use Val Orb on the skill gem itself, and that should allow it to switch to a Val Rain of Arrows, but it's not always going to work. Sometimes it'll just do nothing, and it'll just corrupt it, but you have to buy a new skill gem every time you do this. Probably sounds quite confusing if you're a new player, but when I go through it, I'll explain in a little more detail. We could actually just try to do it now, actually. How many Val Orbs do I have? I've got one Val Orb. So these boots don't have the movement speed that you obviously want. So we're in town. So let me just go ahead and sell some stuff first before we crack on. Just had somebody whisper me to buy something off me. So never waste a good opportunity to get a few Chaos Orbs. But I don't think he actually wants to come to me. No, it's fine. He hasn't. He's declined. Okay, so we've got 0.8% of attack damage leached as life and 30% increased maximum total life recovery per second from leech. So that's good. So we come back to town after we killed that mob that was just in the crematorium. Speak to Clarissa. She'll give you the sewer keys. Now I want to try and recolor this into a triple green. Shouldn't be too hard. I've got a lot of people messaging me. There we go. We got the triple green. So I'm just going to sell this person. What are they after? Brutal Shadow Sepulchre. Brutal. There it is. This is how trading works if anyone's curious. You literally get a whisper. They invite you. You get the thing out of your stash. You leave. You put your Chaos Orbs, or whatever you've sold into there. So this chess piece now has got, let's have a look, 142. So we've got a bit more evasion and a bit more energy shield. We've got some extra life as well, which is good. We've got 598 life. If we put that on, we've got 664. So a lot more defensive, and we've still got the 3 green links. Now, usually with something like this, you could just put it in your stash, keep it in your stash for maybe if you've got another character that you're building that's kind of like evasion based or something. It's a level 9. It's not a terrible thing to have. So that's kind of what a stash is good for. So we're going to go back to Act 1 to Lionize Watch. And here we're going to buy a skill gem off Nessa. We're going to buy another Rain of Arrows here. What then we're going to do is we're going to try and Val Orb it and turn it into a Val Rain of Arrows. I don't know what the percentage chance is, but you can hit it, or either you can just brick it. There we go. I hit it first time. So that just shows actually, it's not actually that hard. So I've got a level 4 rain of arrows here. It says like the second line level 4. Ours is level 5 at the moment. All you have to do is replace that. And if you have a look now on the skill bar, you've got 2 different rain of arrows. I'm going to keep my main rain of arrows here. The Val one is the one with the red little blood drop there. And I'm going to set that to 1. So I'll show you how that works in a little moment. That works with Val rain of arrows. I'm just checking to make sure. Okay. So some of the abilities won't work with the Val part of you can still use it on your normal the normal rain of arrows, but if you look here it says Val rain of arrows. It doesn't work, but you can still see if we look here, this is our little icon for our spell. It says C. That means we've got 1 gem linked in, which is our cold damage there. Added cold damage, got a C. If you equip this, it does add a little M for Mirage Archer, but it doesn't on the Val skill, which is fine anyway. But now basically we've just got Val rain of arrows, which is great. So head back now to town. We're looking out really for some either orbs of alchemy or some essences, because we would like to upgrade these 2, this helmet and this bow, to try and get basically an upgrade. It also says we have to talk to Maramoa first, so let's go ahead down there, speak to Maramoa, and we can get a new ability. So Grace is quite a good ability, and I think we do use that. And then Hatred. Let me just quickly check my build here. If I look on my build, I should be able to see we use Anger, Grace, and Enlighten. So we're going to take Grace. I don't really have the slots to level it up because I'm all kind of slotted out with my greens, but here's a useful trick. If you press X, it does a weapon swap. See, it says you've got 2 weapon swaps here. You can just click that or press X. I'm going to equip this and I'm going to level up my Grace there. So I'll still be able to level it up, but it just means I won't be able to use it unless I weapon swap. And see, my bars change when I weapon swap. So it's going to keep our normal bow equipped. And then back into the slums, which is the zone we started earlier. And like I said, we're looking for that crate, and there it is over there. So look on my skill bar here, the Val rain of arrows. As I start killing, it'll start building up that little red bar, or the red icon. Doesn't take long to fill up at all. And there we go. I've already got 1 load, and I'll just show you how it works. Just press 1. It's just more of a continuous. I've only pressed it once and it brought down about 5 rain of arrows. Okay, so into the sewers. So this is the like the 3rd zone now. In here we're looking for 3 different quest items. They're kind of scattered about the place, and to be honest, it's a bit annoying if you miss one of them, and it's quite like a long dungeon to run. So just have a look around the areas first. Just kind of poke your nose into like the different ways that you can go, and before long you'll find exactly where they are. So let's go this way. Yeah, so here we go. So I know the first one's up here. Always looking for the exclamation mark, and if you just keep this overlay map open, it's just a little bit easier, I find. It's just a little bit easier than just having the mini map there, because sometimes you may miss it, but if it's on the middle of your screen, it's quite easy to do. Now, if you're wondering how you zoom the map in and out in-game, you just use the numpad, the minus and plus, to zoom out, and I'd rather have mine zoomed out as far as I can, because if I'm there, I can't really see that much, and it takes up way too much of my screen. I think that's the default as well. So we're going to grab the waypoint. You can see here, this is our 2nd quest item. Just going to use Val rain of arrows on them. There we go. Nice and easy. Watch out for these red rings on the floor. They basically don't stand in the fire. They will hurt you. I'm just going to put myself on Do Not Disturb /DND if you want to put that on yourself. It's just going to stop any messages coming through now that just while I'm recording. May miss out on some sales, but you know, we're just trying to get this done as professionally, let's say. Yeah, we're trying to get it done as professionally as possible, which by my standards, you know, that's something to say, because I'm not that professional at anything. Okay, so I know if you come up to here and you see this little blue icon, I think this might be the second one that you've seen so far. This is an Undercity hideout. If you want to get a different hideout, all you've got to do is go into that zone, clear all the mobs, and you can unlock that hideout. And that's the same for so many areas in the game. Later on in maps, you'll find certain areas like that you've just got to clear out, and you can get it added to your hideout list. And if you followed my last or watched the last video, towards the end I kind of described how to get the hideout. Unfortunately, because my account's already got the hideout on this event or this league, I can't do it again. What I will show you though is this event. This is a different league event. This is called Blight, and it's basically like tower defense. If you've ever played any tower defense game, it is that. So we've got our tower here, the eco pump there, and it's just gonna, if you look on the mini map here, it just spreads off in 2 different directions. And if you see these emblems above the thing, what you want to do is select that one. So fire over fire, and it basically gives you a better reward when you do. But I like to do frost, because that slows them down, and then fire for damage. Basically, you can add minions, and the green one, I'm sure the green one, that will make all the other towers more effective. Okay, so let's just do some lightning as well. So you can actually see I'm building up 2 Valrain of arrows here. You can see in this corner it says 1. I just used it. I've still got another one to use. Now, these blights can be quite dangerous. I do advise kind of keeping on the move. Same as what I've been explaining like the whole time that I've been playing. You've got to try and keep on the move. You've got to try and keep moving, because otherwise there's going to be dots that build up on the ground. There's going to be you know, some chaos damage, some fire damage that maybe you're not quite noticing that you're standing in, and that's just going to kind of end the run a little bit early. It's going to start killing you. So always keep on the move. So as you, well, let's just destroy this last mob here. Okay, perfect. So if you look around, all these towers that opened up, or these portals that opened up, you've got some little reward things on them. So it's going to go ahead and click these. I'm going to change this back to my leveling thing, loot filter, sorry, and then pick up all of these. If you go back to the tower itself as well, there'll be some stuff dropped. Nice, a chaos orb. Chaos orbs are basically like your pounds, your dollars in this game. You do want to keep on to them. I wouldn't use any of them just yet, because later on towards like Act 4 or 5, we're actually going to be buying some gear off the trade site, and I'll be going through exactly how to do that. But you don't really need it until about Act 4, if everything's going right for you, as it is for me at the moment. Just going to quickly check down here for the 3rd quest item, because I don't want to have to run all the way back. No, it's fine. Let's just kill these. Notice that I am running low on mana quite a lot, so I would like to maybe just get some more mana leech if I can. I'm just going to use this one here, so hopefully that keeps my mana topped up a bit more. Yeah, as you can see already, my mana, I'm not having to use the pots already as much. That's just more of like a quality of life thing. So if you want you know, not such a hard time leveling, always running out of potions or flasks. Which way? I've gone a wrong way somewhere, haven't I? Right, so let's quickly run back. This is why having 2 quicksilver flasks is fucking, you know, really handy early on, or even any time in the game, really. Yeah, okay, so not this way. So we're going to head all the way up to this top corner where I said the that hideout was, the underground or undercity hideout. And let me check. I've got 1, 2, 3 quest items. So now we're just looking for the exit. So it should just be up here on this left-hand side. It's a shame because if I explored a little bit more up here into this room, it would have highlighted where it was before I ran all the way back down the other way. So there we are, looking for that orange door on the map. And out we go. So the key thing we are really looking for now is an upgrade to our bow or a 4-link setup for our gems. We're going to come down here and we're going to grab this point blank. Okay. So we've got some beasts here if you want to kill the beasts. Obviously, this may not play out exactly as yours is playing out. There might not be certain beasts in certain maps, or the blight that I just did, it might not be in that same place. It does differ from zone to zone, and I think everyone's kind of client is like randomized with the events. Maybe the first time that you do them, they might always be in the same spot, but after that, then it is kind of just like a roulette of what you get in each zone. Right, let's put some damage on here. Right, let's use my Val Rain of Arrows. I used both of them then. Oh, stay out of there. Stay out of there, crap there, because there's a lot of them that get spawned. With the red beasts, you've always got to be careful because they do spawn quite a few little helpers to try and knock you down a peg. Right, I'm always kind of heading left on this map. You want to look for the waypoint here. Now, I'm not going to go into this zone, but I will let you know that if you go into here, this is the catacombs. So the waypoint is literally right by here. Go into this zone, which is the catacombs, and there's going to be another trial of ascendancy to do there. We are looking for one quest item in this zone before we go to the next one. Here is the Decanter Spiritus. And now we can head usually up north or northeast to look for the exit into the next zone. So let's have a look. Is it this way? I'm making a habit of on these videos, I say, oh yeah, it's this way, and then it never is the way that I say it is. So maybe just explore, try and find it yourself. You know, it's an ARPG after all. You do just want to kind of explore. The more you're exploring, the more rewards that you get and the more mobs you're killing. So it's never a bad thing to just get out there and kill more mobs. And obviously, like I've said in the past couple of videos, you should be following a build guide. It's not going to make your life any harder. It's actually going to help out quite a lot, and it's not going to ruin the game for you. It's actually going to make it a lot more enjoyable. It's just going to give you a bit more freedom to kind of just play the game, and just when you're following a build guide, you don't have to worry about, is this better or is this worse? You know, they've kind of set out this optimal path for you to just get through the game. And you can always make changes, especially a little bit later on when you feel like, oh, you know, I'm doing loads of damage, but I keep dying. You know, just respec some of your points. It doesn't cost a lot at all. Just an orb of regret. And you should build up some passive skill points as well on the way. So I'll get rid of this helm, because we need to get that quest item that just dropped there. So as you can see, this is the damage is a little bit low now. So I am desperately looking for an upgrade. So head back to town, talk to Hagen first. He's going to give you a book of skill, which is 2 passive skill points, and 1 passive skill point, is it, and 1 respec. We're going to go down here, and we want to take this. This is point blank. It says projectile attacks hits deal up to 30% more damage to targets at the start of their movement, dealing less damage to targets as the projectile travels farther. Now with Rain of Arrows, there's no extra distance. They always fall the same amount. What I might do as well, just for the time being, I'm just going to remove the affinities off my currency tab and just put all the currency that I've made in these videos just in here. the other stuff I can just put in with the rest. We're going to ID some of this stuff, but we are probably just going to sell it. It's not anything of value. Mana flask isn't as good. These swords I don't need. So get rid of this, and this. Rain of Arrows I don't need either, so I can just get rid of that. It's just taking up inventory space. And then we are going to head to, it says travel to the Solaris Temple and travel to the Ebony Barracks. Both of those you can get to from this zone, the Battlefront. So the first one we're going to go to is the Solaris Temple level 2. So if you head kind of up and right here, I promise you this is always this area up here. I would love it if it wasn't actually. So if you are watching this video and you're playing along and it isn't up there, then I sincerely apologize. It ain't my fault. I'm trying my damnedest here. So looking out obviously for the essences still. We're not having any luck at the moment, to be fair, with any essences or orbs of alchemy. I would happily take an orb of alchemy. It's going to do the same thing really. It's going to upgrade it to a rare item with some extra modifiers, but our damage at the moment just isn't, it's not good enough at all. So here's the Solaris Temple level 1. We have to go through to level 2. So in this zone, you're literally just looking for the entrance to the level below. So running through the zone kind of as quick as you can. I'm level 30 now, so I'm definitely over leveled. So I'm happy to just move through the zone quickly and just kill mobs just to get my flasks recharged. So I'm not going to be killing these rare monsters that take a little bit longer. These white mobs that I'm killing in one shot's fine, because I don't have to do anything other than just one click them. So we've got a waypoint here if you feel like you need a vendor or anything. Oh, my damage has gotten a lot better actually, considering I've just taken that point blank. That passive I think has increased my damage by quite a bit. $290. So we're doing 290 DPS at the moment. It's not a crazy amount. And we found the Solaris Temple level 2. So head down here. And now I'm sure in this zone there is a boss that we're looking for. So again, you can just run through with your Quicksilvers up. Depending on if you're underleveled or not, just take it as, you know, just kind of decide what you need to do depending on your level and your skill basically. And maybe even the gear that you've got. So at the moment I know I'm looking for essences, so I will go out of my way to find an essence if I can. Still leveling up that Grace gem, even though it isn't equipped on my current gear set. It's on that bow that I've got on my second equipment slot. You can even, there is a trick, so obviously you can level up to 6 gems in your secondary slot. So if you're wanting to make some money early on, a good way to do it is finding out a popular build that people are playing. Easy enough to do. You can go to PoE Ninja and just look for the build that's being most played, or you could just kind of look on YouTube and see what's kind of getting the most attention. And what you could do is just level up 6 of those gems in your offhand slot. And then you can sell them when you get them to level 20. Or you can even try and val them to turn them to... because sometimes a val orb won't just turn your ability to a val ability. It can sometimes even increase its level to 21. So if you've got a level 20, like Rain of Arrows, it could turn it to a level 21 Rain of Arrows, which is then very valuable. Especially for like spell gems, so blue gems that that obviously increase the damage a lot more than like a melee gem. Melee gems, you get your damage from the weapons themselves. But from spell gems, which are usually blue, you get a lot of your damage from the gem itself. So having that one extra level is usually really good. Oh, there we go. We've just dropped a bone bow. This might actually be really good for us. Let's quickly just get up to this zone up here. This is the lady we were looking for. So Lady Diala. Speak to her. We're going to pick up this lapis amulet because we still need that intelligence for some of our abilities. So let's quickly ID this and ID that. Oh, wow. Okay. I think this is going to be good. So equipment a new amulet. And we've got 294.5 DPS. 344. Yeah. So big upgrade for us there. Yeah, physical damage, and cold. It's a shame the cold damage is such a low, well, a tier 10. It's like a low roll. We could have got a nice increase on that, but it's fine. But what we will do when we get back to town, we're going to increase the quality of this, which increases the physical damage of it as well. So always checking your currency, kind of what currency does, because sometimes you might have like a bit of a more than you care to like keep around. Really, you might be sitting on 20 blacksmith whetstones that you're not going to need a massive amount of. So it's always worth going through your currency, just checking. What's the chance of that? We get into the next zone and we've got essence. So we're going to take this guy out and we're looking for an essence to get a new helmet. So weapon, so helmet is 5 to 14 maximum life. So we'll go ahead and get that. Equip that, and now we've got more green gems to equip. Or not gems, we've got sockets in case we do get any more gems. But now the main thing we're looking out for is a 4-link. We need that 4-link. Doesn't matter if it doesn't have our colors, but we do want an evasion base, because if we get an evasion base, it's more likely to have green gems socketed in there, or colors. So that's what we're looking for, basically. Ooh, new mana flask. Equip this as well. 350 mana instead of 170. We're not using the mana flask as much anymore. Oh, look at that. We've even got 2 essences in this zone. This seems to be the boss. Okay, so yeah, our damage is much better now. Look at that. We're flying through them now. Come on, boys. Let's get going. Okay. I would like to get some movement speed now, I think. Because it gets to the point where your damage gets to a good place and you just want to kind of run the zones a little bit faster. Obviously, we can use our Quicksilver flasks, but they're limited, aren't they? So we do want to go as fast as we can. Not going to be picking up all the Scroll of Wisdoms now. Now we're happy with how many we've got. I've almost got like a stack and a bit. A stack is 40, so you know, once you've got 40, you don't need to be picking up every single Scroll of Wisdom. Portal Scrolls I'm still a little bit lower on, so we'll keep racking them up for the time being. So in this zone, we've found the supply crate, and we've got the Thormetic Sulfite. We need to take that to the woman we just got that amulet off. Before we do that, we can find the waypoint in this area. Let's go ahead and quickly do that. It's just basically at the end of one of these piers, so you've just got to find which one it is. I think it might be this one down here. But then again, every time I say that something's there, it's not going to be there. So maybe I'll say it ain't going to be there, and then it will be there. So it's not going to be here. No, it's not going to be here. Don't go down this one. It won't be here. Oh, wait, it is there. It works. Reverse psychology on Path of Exile. God, this guy's running. He's booking it. Go ahead and kill this guy. Oh, we've got 4 link on gloves. Go ahead and pick that up. Gonna speak to Captain Fairgraves. Talk to him. We need to now head back to the Solaris Temple level 2. Go there and we need to speak to Lady Diala. She's going to give us something back. And now we have to head to the sewers. So we finished in all these zones now. This is like all of this side done. We're now heading to the other side, which you can see this little line here has got a break in it. This way is impassable due to the undying blockage. So I'll just go there and show you exactly what that is. So this is the sewer area that we came to earlier. There was a blocked entrance here, not allowing us to get there. So if we clicked this before, it would have said basically we can't go through. But now we've got this little infernal talc. We click it, the bumhole burns. Lush. Okay, now we do, pretty sure, I think there might have been a crafting recipe here as well. Just always keep an eye out for those little symbols showing for a crafting recipe. Always pick them up. They're never a bad thing to have, especially when you've got your hideout and your crafting bench, which I will show you in a minute actually, once we've defeated this boss, because I would like to see if we can do anything extra with that bow that we just got. Some like added cold or added whatever like damage we can do, or maybe some attack speed or something. We'll have a quick look. So in this zone, all we're looking to do is kill a guy called General Gravicius. He does hit really, really hard, especially with some fire damage. So we've got 59% fire resistance, which is pretty good to be fair. We did pick up a ruby ring, so what I might do is just switch this off for this one. Yeah, switch that off there. Now we've got 75%, and as you can see here, it says 75, but it's actually 83% is what we've got. But resistances are naturally capped at 75%. So, yeah, cap is at 75%. You do want to get all of them to 75%. Oh, being attacked. Trying to do some skill points and you're messing with me. We're going for elemental damage with attack skills here. Okay, General Gravicius, here he is. Put down some totems. We just want to kill him quick, really. The faster, the better. You can see he's quite tanky. Use Val Rain of Arrows. Watch out for the fire storms that he drops. Just remember to keep your health up the entire time. And we got a new health flasks. But that's it. Kill him, and we're going to head straight up past him and go into the next zone, which is the Lunaris Temple. So it's basically, we've been in the red one. We want to go to the blue temple now. I always think of it as like fire and cold. See, even like the floors like blue compared to the other one, which was red. Kind of like Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy. All the floor in that always used to be a lot more blue or a lot more reds, depending on which game you had. So we're taking just elemental damage over here now. So we've got 360 DPS, but we've got probably like a bigger chance to freeze and things like this now, which helps us because we've got Herald of Ice. That's going to help us cause a lot more explosions when we're killing things. And it's kind of like a defensive layer for us. If the mobs are frozen, they can't actually do any damage to us. So that's something to always kind of remember, that even though you're doing cold damage, the fact that you can freeze them is stopping them from doing damage to you, allowing you to obviously kill them a lot easier. Right, I did say that I was going to go to the crafting bench, so we're going to just portal out, and you're going to go to your waypoint. You may not have all these buttons here on the side, but you should now if you did the Act 2 quest here in, like I said, I've not been there because I've already unlocked it, but the Dread Thicket there, kill some monsters, do a quest for Helena. You can now click travel to your hideout. Now it may look different to yours. There's some really cool things you can do with hideouts. You can import them, you can export them. This wasn't one that I made. This was one that I imported from the internet off a certain website. But as you can see, they're quite big. I've got a lot of vendors, a lot of different people in the hideout. You may not have all of them, but the important thing that we're looking for is a crafting bench here. If you haven't got it, you just have to click onto your decorations there and then wait for it to load. And here you've got a crafting bench. It may look different, it may look like this, but you just click it and drop it there and it'll basically allow you to craft. So what I want to do is I want to put my bow into here, and then if I go down here now, I've got attack speed. So I think if I use this attack speed, it's going to make the bow too high level. So I'll do 8 to 10% attack speed. I got 10% attack speed. Lovely. Attack speed is always good to have. While I'm here, I may as well just do some extra crafting. See, that's level 40, so do a smaller one. So 18% elemental damage with attacks. So I'm basically just kind of upgrading my gear. You won't have all of these unlocked straight away. You do have to go through the world and unlock individual ones, but you should have, you know, maybe a couple of things. So we've got here some gloves which are full-length, but what we want to do, like I said, I've got a stash here as well. I want to come here and I want to use a chromatic orb which changes the colors of the sockets, and I want to get a red one. Only one red, 2 red, 1 red. Perfect. Okay, now I need to scour orb. I'll just quickly show you what this is. So scour an orb here. It says removes all modifiers from an item. The only 2 modifiers I've got is 100 evasion rating and 12 fire resistance, and then I'm going to use this essence to turn them into rare. So orb of scouring to turn them to a normal item. You could even, if you've got some armor scraps, what this says here is it improves the quality of an armor. And if you look at the evasion, it's 85, and every click I do, it's giving it more evasion. The quality is maxed out at 20%. So now I'm going to use this essence, hopefully get something good. I've got some rarity, some cold resistance. So not really as good a mods as what I've got on my one, but I'm looking for the falling, and it's going to be a lot more useful having that falling. So got some gems to kind of shift about first. What I will do is just identify all this stuff, see if I can sell it all. Got a new life flask. So always try and keep your life flasks topped up to, you know, the highest numbers. And then we're just going to sell. Almost sold the gloves. What a div I would have been. So we're going to sell everything else that we don't need. These are some cool rings as well. They offer both fire and cold resistance, or cold and lightning, or fire and lightning. You can get different versions of them. So if you look here on my rings, you can see I've got a lot of different ones: fire and cold, cold and lightning, cold and lightning. A lot of cold and lightning ones for some reason. They're literally all cold and lightning resistance. But yeah, so if you're trying to get like 2 resistances, you can kind of get yourself capped out there. Got some. You do end up keeping like a stash of rings of armor bits, of some weapons, and as you go through the game, you're going to realize that leveling up that second character is a lot easier than the first one. So we're going to put all this back in to our stash. This is just stuff that we don't need at the moment. Get rid of all that. Okay, so we've got some gem switcheroonies to do. So put my Herald device up in my helmet, put my precision up in my helmet. That frees up my gloves to be taken off, and then I can put all of the Rain of Arrows skills back in, and I just need some strength now. So a good way to do it, let me show you. I've got 14 strength. I need 24 strength, and every time I want to level up that gem, which is going to give me more elemental damage each time I do it, I need more strength. So you can either get it from the skill tree. If we have a look, you know, the only strength kind of starts on this side of the tree going left. This is all these strength nodes, strength, and then from here it turns to dex, all the way up here. And it goes all the way up until int, which is up here, and the int goes all the way around until back down to here at strength. So you can see it's kind of like split up into different ways. This is all strength, this is all dexterity, and then this top bit is all intelligence. So we're not going to really be able to get any strength here. So what we can do, go to the crafting bench. We can just put in, let's say, what's pretty good. You always look for something that's pretty good that you're going to keep for a while. This ring I just got, it's got some fire resistance and stuff, so this might be worth getting. And we're just going to go 15 to 20 strength. I got 17 strength, and as you can see, this is now unhighlighted red, and we're able to use it. So we go 348.7 damage to 375. 20% is exactly what it is, 20%. So now we are ready to carry on. So let's go ahead and vendor these gloves. Or like I said earlier, if you want to just keep hold of them, put them in your stash tab because they're not bad gloves for level 4. Attack speed, max life is kind of what you want early on. So we're going to head back to town now. And we've got two things we can do. We can either head back to the Lunaris Temple, which we need to do, or we can speak to Marmoa quickly. And now you've got some skill gems, some different skill gems. And I think we are going to take Artillery Ballista. Summons a ballista totem that propels a sequence of 5 arrows into the air. So basically like Rain of Arrows, but on a ballista instead. So Shrapnel Ballista, we'll take that off. We can see the damage difference, 204, 175. So yeah, this new one is definitely better. But PS won't work for it because Rain of Arrows comes down. Obviously it can't pierce through enemies, it just, you know, hits straight onto them. So we will switch out PS for something a little bit later on. But at the moment, that is what we've got. So head back to the Lunaris Temple. Bloody, I'm going to have to stop saying that. I can't say it right. So we're just going to run through, and if you have a look, these new totems, they now fire up and down. They do a lot more damage, don't they? Right, boss here. Let's just see how quickly we can kill him now with kind of the new equipment and stuff. Yeah, nice. A lot better. A lot more damage. Now we are going to be flying again, but all it takes is like a little bit of crafting sometimes. We don't even have all of our abilities. You've got to always make sure you've got your buffs on. I didn't just then. So that was quite quick without any buffs on at all. So I should just be kind of one-shotting things now, which I am. Here's a rare. Let's test the damage. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Feeling nice and strong and powerful again, and that's kind of what you know play the game for. You don't want to be feeling weak, going through and dying all the time. Okay, so in this zone, we are just trying to get through to the second floor again. So Lunaris Temple level 2 is what we're looking for, and in there I'm sure we've got a boss to defeat. So we found the waypoint here, and then down into Lunaris Temple level 2. Fuck me, I can't wait to get out of this area so I don't have to say it anymore. Okay, this is like tight corners, and these guys do a lot of projectile damage. They kind of shoot a lot of projectiles at the same time, but they're all bunched up. So if you're playing a ranged character, you can just stand far away, or if you're playing a melee build, you've just got to kind of dodge their abilities a little bit, step from side to side, and don't get hit by too many of them, or stand still. That's the aim of the game. Don't stand still, and you should be okay, to be fair. I don't know if it's ever worth clicking on chests. I've never found anything of value in them. Maybe like a Chaos Orb here and there, but they're honestly just a waste of time, and there's thousands in the game. So don't bother wasting your time. They're not. It's not like other games where they you know, there's a lot of valuable stuff in chests. Not in this game. So don't even waste your time. Oh, we've got another 4-link, which is a Plague Mask. So it's got evasion rating and energy shield. So we'll take that, because we might be able to do some crafting a little bit later on to try and turn that into something half decent. Because all we're looking for on our armor, we're looking for life, we're looking for resistances, and we're looking for like some extra evasion and extra energy shield. You don't really need anything else apart from those 3 stats. It's just more about survivability. The rings, the amulets, and your weapons is where you're going to be getting a lot of your damage from. So if any of your items are a little bit lacking in those areas, that's kind of the stats that you're looking for. But also on rings, you are looking for resistances as well, because resistances on rings are like pretty much the main area you would get them from. Like here, I've got 21 cold resistance, 24 fire resistance, just as the main implicit on that item. The main mod on that item is generic for that item, and it's a resistance ring. You can obviously get the rings like I had on the one before this, which was just an iron ring, which gave physical damage. But I'd say most people, while leveling, do definitely have these rings, the elemental rings. So the ruby ring, the sapphire ring, the topaz ring, which gives you those fire, cold, and lightning resistances. So enough about resistances. Get them high, don't die. That's basically the gist of it. Okay, I think we're coming to the end of this zone now, and I do just want to level up before going in there, because I would like some extra damage. We're one away from these. So on this, you can see like we've got a couple of small nodes, and then we've got these big nodes here. These ones with like the spikes around them. These are always a lot more valuable. So never just kind of like take 3 here and then go to this and take 2 there. Always, if you're going into these nodes, take the big ones, because they're the ones where you get that big either DPS increase or the big survivability boost. Yeah, these totems are actually really fun compared to the other ones. I'm raining down a lot of arrows from the sky now. Another crafting recipe up here. So if you click this, crafting recipe for you. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you, so you're welcome. Okay, let's go. Let's pop everything we've got. Both Vile Rain of Arrows.
It's selfishness. It's selfishness.
Okay. He does a bit of transforming, this boss. If you can kill these rings while you're trying to find him, that'll help you massively, because he's able to portal to them. Or she, sorry. Oh, there she is. Right, this part is dangerous. Stay away from her when she turns into that one. That one with the 2 swords can mess you up. Alright, so that's it. You've got the item from her now. We're going to go back and we want to speak to Grigor over on this corner here. So Grigor, yep. Get the passive skill point off him. I'm just going to speak to her just to get rid of that. And we've got here, what is this? Okay, so we've got a arrow quiver with the implicit modifier. The main modifier being arrow, pierce, and additional target, but we don't need pierce at all. So we would rather kind of keep what we've got, but we'll just DPS check it quick. 403.7 to 340, so it's not even close. So you don't even want to even bother. If it's not good for you, just get shot of it. We're going to keep that helmet just in case. And there we go. Big DPS, 416 now. So, what does it say here? Oh, that's for the trial. So we're going to head now back to the Ebony Barracks. So if you look at the quest here, I'm clicking on these 2 quests. It says go to this zone, and it needs to go into that next zone there. So head to the Ebony Barracks. Now, instead of heading up where we were headed before, we're just going to head right. I'm going to head this way, and quite quickly you'll see the exit to the next zone. Oh, and I have just remembered there's an ability that I'm missing. Let's go ahead and pick that up. If you're a melee class or a bow build, and you feel like your attacks aren't fast enough, there's a really cool ability called Blood Rage that I advise you pick up. There's an upside and a downside. The upside is that when you kill a monster or any targets with this equipped, with this activated, you'll gain Frenzy Charge, and a Frenzy Charge will increase your attack speed. The downside is it does kind of gradually just take your HP down. So I'll quickly show you how this works, but I've got it on like my level 92 character still uses it. You can gain Frenzy Charges another way, but I just feel like this is a really easy way to do it. So I've got it here now. Blood Rage is activated, but as you can see, my HP is going down. It's starting to just go down little by little, but it gives you Frenzy Charges. So we'll go ahead and you can get 3 frenzy charges as a max, but on the skill tree, you've got things like this, which give you +1 to maximum frenzy charges. So you can always get more. And there's probably ascendancies that give you more as well. So I just usually press 3 as I'm running, kill monsters, and you can see my frenzy charges. I've got 3 there now. But it just allows you to attack a lot faster. It says play gain more damage, increase attack, and cast speed. So yeah, I'm always getting Blood Rage. I completely forgot about it, which is quite surprising. I never forget about grabbing Blood Rage. It just makes the playthrough a lot easier. In this zone, I'm just following the path. You can see this like cobbled path here. I'm just following this all the way. I just want to pick up this one shrine here. What shrine is it? Shrine Ice Nova around me. Okay. So keep following this until we find the waypoint. Upgrading all of my skills, and here's the first card drop we've had. So in this game you can find cards. You can see that there's a number on that. We've got 1 out of 5. Once you get a full stack, you can trade them in for whatever it offers. Different cards offer different things. Some cards are worth a lot of money. A lot of cards are just worthless, not even point picking them up, but for the sake of the video I will I'll just pick it up. You know, we might even get a full stack before the guide finishes in Act 10. Okay, so up here there's 2 ways to go really in this zone. We're gonna go to the library first because it's quite handy getting this early on your first character, because a lot of builds don't come together really until you've got like a certain amount of skill or a certain skill gems for your build. This zone here, if we clear it and finish a quest, it allows us to buy pretty much every skill gem in the game. You can only usually do this once you've completed Act 5, the first boss, and you go into Act 6, which is like it's kind of like you start Act 1 again, but it's a lot harder. The mobs are different. They're kind of different layout of different zones, but it's just like a much harder version of the campaign basically. So you can only get those once you get to Act 5. But if you come here, you can actually do a quest and you can unlock all the skill gems. But they just cost a little bit more. So they might cost like an Orb of Chance or an Orb of Transmutation, instead of what you usually spend is a Scroll of Wisdom. So you go through this zone. Never really been a fan of this zone. It's always quite tricky to find exactly where you want to go, but pick up any Orbs of Chance, any Orbs of Transmutation, especially now as we go into this zone looking for this vendor, because like I said, it does cost a little bit more. Those Orbs of Chance will come in handy if that gem that you require does cost that. So we've just found another divination card, which is the Scholar, which gives wisdom scrolls. I'm probably quite over leveled now, so I'm level 34. Yeah, I feel like I've been constantly over leveling this playthrough, which isn't a bad thing. Obviously it's going to allow us to be a lot beefier, and you know, not dying as much, or not dying at all. Where am I now on my build? Let's make sure I'm not dying. So I'm going to go head up here, and then I'm going to go for some reservation and some evasion. So you can decrease the reservation amount by getting certain talents on the skill tree, some passive skill points, which allows you to basically have more reservation skills. Because I've got 2. If I added a 3rd, I probably wouldn't have much mana to play. But if I get some talents that, you know, will increase my mana reservation ability, I'll be able to have another one. So come to Phrecia here, and we need to. She's basically asked us to find 4 golden pages. So you've got to look for. You've got to come around in this area, and we're looking for on one of the walls. There'll be a loose candle. It is kind of obvious, but I think if it's your first playthrough, you wouldn't look to think to look on a wall. Pick up that jeweler's orb. I'll try and show you. I won't click it straight away, just so you can see it. Just so you know what you're looking for. It's going to be here anywhere. It's usually in a little squared off little box room. So, like I said, this zone is massive, to be fair. Never really been a fan of it, to be honest. Right, maybe in this room. Nope, doesn't want to be in this room either. We will find it in this video, I swear. We will find it. Just give me a second. Oop. Not here. God, it's never ending, this place. Ah, okay. So if you come here, see, it says loose candle. Now, if you haven't got your always highlight button, which is the Z button, you wouldn't see it. So make sure you've got the Z button on, because look, you can take the Z. Well, this basically is called always highlight. If you've got it on, you can see things on the floor and quest items and things like this. If not, you won't be able to see it unless you hover over it, which is obviously going to be difficult. So make sure you've got that on. Click the loose candle. And then we're just going to go into the archives. So in this zone, we're looking for the 4 golden pages. I usually just hug one wall and just stick to it and just go all the way around until I find it. Here on the map, you can see the first one. Okay, I can see 2 already. Let's go ahead and pick these first 2 up, which are never easy to find. And as you go through the game, the zones will start getting larger and they'll start getting longer to get through. So that is just something that obviously helps with leveling up, especially as you get a little bit higher level and need more mobs to kill. They will offer that by having larger zones. So this is the second one, and already I can see the third one over here. So we've got 3 golden pages and we just need 1 more now. So find the last golden page. So it's going to be obviously somewhere here on this right side. So keeping those quicksilvers activated. I'm going to pop some totems down there just to hopefully get some refills on the flask. You can get obviously different movement abilities that don't have any cooldown or have a lot less of a cooldown. And there we go. We found 4 pages. What I would advise now, just portal straight out. And what you can do now is you can head back here to the library. Head to the library and she'll just be right here, Ciosa. Speak to her. She'll offer you some skill gems, which is obviously, you know, grab whatever you need. I think, let me just check my build. I think I need... Don't think she's got anything that I need. I might just take Ice Bite. Yeah, I'll just take Ice Bite. It's nothing I need. But if you click on purchase, you can see all of these skill gems. These are all the, you know, the strength gems, all the support gems, all the dex gems, all the dex support gems, and then so on. The blue, you know, the int and the int support gems. These are basically most of the skill gems in the game. There are more that you can get, but you won't be able to get any skill gem that isn't here from a normal vendor in Act 5 anyway. So, back to the Imperial Gardens now. The last Trial of Ascendancy is in this zone here. So, if you're missing it, it is always in this zone here, up to the top left somewhere. But we're now looking for the way into the next zone, which is basically, we're now coming towards the end of this act, which is Act 3. We've done this relatively quickly. Here's this one. Oh, and I can quickly show you what a crafting recipe looks like. You come here, see this on the mini map. That is the crafting recipe. If you click it, it says new recipe unlocked, all attributes rank 1. And now you can go to your hideout and that will be on your crafting bench. So this is the last ascendancy. Click it. You should have all 6 of these unlocked now. And then just go back through the portal. And what I like to do, obviously you've got all the Trials of Ascendancy unlocked. That unlocks the Labyrinth in Act 3's town. But I like to just finish Act 3 before doing it. That's not something you have to do. That is literally just my personal preference. I don't even think it's actually that smart to do. It's probably better to get it done as early as you can, especially if you're having problems maybe trying to defeat the Act 3 boss. You may be experiencing some difficulty. If you are, mate, just go and do the trial. I will show you how to do it in a little bit, but I want to just finish the act first, just so if anyone's following along, they don't have to kind of stop their gameplay to go and do the trial, the labyrinth. So we've unlocked the doors now. After speaking to Grigor, he gave us that key. We're now going through this up to the Scepter of God.
Why do we insist on building mountains? Why not just go and climb them?
Okay, pop in my Blood Rage ability so I can get those frenzy charges. And in this zone, it's like obviously it's like a tower. So we're just looking for those orange door symbols on the minimap. In this zone, they do quite a lot of elemental damage and projectile damage, so careful through these doorways, because obviously it's all focused into that one little zone. Okay, so it's not this way. Let's go up here. Another dead end there. That's unfortunate. So I've got to trek all the way back through this room. Up here. Bear with me 1 second. Let me check something. Okay. Alright then. Thanks for the patience there, guys. Appreciate it. So here we go. We've got the doorway over here. We don't seem to be actually having any problems with our defense at the moment. You know, we've only got 784 HP, but I'd say that's not bad for where we are at the moment. You can see there I just took quite a lot of damage, but if you've got like life leech like I have, or if you haven't got like a build that's running life leech, you're probably a bit more defensive, or maybe you're going to be playing an energy shield build, which is going to be obviously giving you like that second layer of defense. So you won't need as much HP, but you would need more energy shield. You can see the doorway over there now, so we'll just quickly buck straight over there fast as we can. Oh, we got this. Should we bother killing him? Go on, we'll kill him. Drop anything good? Nah, nothing. Nothing. Up the stairs to the next zone. And I feel like these areas do get smaller as you go up. So we're into the Upper Scepter of God now. I think now it's just one last zone, and then it's going to be a boss fight. Now, I remember when I did this boss fight originally, when I first started playing, I died a handful of times because I didn't know the mechanic. And kind of what I've been explaining through the whole game so far is don't stand in, like, you know, big circles of doom, basically. If they look dangerous, don't stand in them. It's basically the opposite on this boss. I will show you when we get there. Let's go. Let's head up this way. Try our luck. Nope, not this way. And every zone that you go into, you've got to remember that, like, frenzy charges and buffs that you've got, temporary buffs, not the active skill gem buffs that you've got, but like ones that have got like a cooldown, they will fade. So you've got to reapply them to each zone that you go into. Okay, see this mechanism, you know you're on the right track, you're going the right way. And then here we go. So last zone now. We've done a lot of zones, to be fair, in this one little space. And if you're killing everything, you might even have a full inventory. You can just portal out, go back to town, come back here in a few minutes and just catch up with me. Feel free to just pause the video, you know, so you don't get lost along the way. Right, so we are in a level 33 zone and we are level 35. So let's just make sure. Is there anything else that we can get? Just for the time being, that's going to be very useful. I don't think there is. Let me just check my tree. No, nothing we need. It's just pathing up either to here or we can go to spell suppress. So you've got two choices. You know, my build is saying I need to take this and I also need to take this. What I will do is I will probably, you know, I seem to be pretty good defensively, so I'm going to go ahead for this mana reservation efficiency to give myself another you know, reservation, another aura basically. So this is the boss here. Fight your way to Dominus. All of these guys are going to come alive, so just go ahead and take these out. So basically they spawn about 4 or 5 bosses, like mini bosses in here. The ones with the orange names, you can see they're bosses, so careful of them. This boss does a lot of lightning damage, so careful of that. Just spawns more bosses. If you want, and you've got like these ballistas, you're following my build, you can literally just put your ballistas down, just run around. But obviously the more damage you're doing, the more HP that you're leeching. The life leech is massive on this build. So so here we go, we've got the boss now. So this boss has got like a 2-parter. Oh, don't get hit by the big slam. Does a lot of lightning damage and it can kill you. So just try and get him down as fast as you can. He's going to spawn a lot of mobs. But a good thing to do with this build is stand in your rain of arrows. It tends to obviously do a lot of damage. But it's also going to keep you safe because a lot of life leech. So this is the second part. This is phase 2. Now see this big red ring here? You think, oh shit, yeah, don't stand in that. That's not good. But outside in a minute, the rain is going to start turning red and it's going to do a lot of damage to you. When he does start doing that, he's going to put up like this temporary barrier. If I go out inside, it does damage to me. So stay inside and you want to just stay in this bubble with him and just take him out. I'm going to pop all of our abilities now. Should do a lot of damage there. And there we go. Simple as that. That is Act 3 complete. I'm just going to quickly run through the next zone just to get to Act 4's town. And then we will go ahead and do the Labyrinth. So just zoom through this zone. This zone's really easy to follow. A lot of people, as you get through to the higher acts in Act 9, they have a similar version to this called the Blood Aqueducts, and people run this a lot just to level up because it's so linear. You just follow the one path all the way along. I keep forgetting to put my Blood Rage up, which is slacking and not helping my DPS at all. Yeah, so they use this zone to level up quite quickly because it's always the same layout. You just run straight up, follow the water where that's coming from, and you'll never go the wrong way. It's always filled with you know, quite dense packs of mobs, and it also drops a really good divination card, and especially on league starters, people will be farming this zone early on just to try and get that item from the divination card. You need 9 of the cards to make the item called the Tabula Rasa, and it's a really good leveling unique to have. And if you can get one early on, you can make quite a bit of money off it. The market always depends on, you know, what people are willing to pay for it, but it always does sell for quite a lot early on. Especially if they've already played their first, you know, like league starter, and they're looking to just get a second character leveled up nice and quick. That's probably the best chest piece to do it. It gives you a 6 socket that you can 6 link that you can wear at level 1. Like it's a chest piece, 6 link, but it has no stats. It has 0 stats on it. But obviously you're getting a 6 link, so you do get a big benefit from having 6 socketed gems at level 1. Okay, so now we're in Act 4. We're just going to go ahead back to Act 3. to the Sarn encampment. You may have just noticed there on the map, I didn't complete one of the quests, this Swig of Hope. Pretty sure all it gives you is either a respec point or something that I don't need, basically. So come here to the Act 3 town. This is the Ascendancy plaque. Once you've got all 6, click it. It'll open up a portal through to the Aspirants Plaza. This is where the Labyrinth is. Once you've been here once on the waypoint, it will show here on the little button just above your hideout, so you can go from any town that you want. And if you click on this activation, you can see we've got 4 different labyrinths we can do. Not at the moment. Obviously, there's level requirements and more Trials of Ascendance you have to get in Act 6, Act 7, Act 8, Act 9, Act 10. But we're just going to go for the we're just going to go for the first one, so the level 33 labyrinth. So this area, it's basically filled with traps. The monsters aren't too hard, especially, you know, if you're over leveled a little bit. I would advise coming here probably 2 or 3 levels over, maybe even 5 levels, just to play it safe, over the recommended. So come about level 35 to 38. If you are struggling, maybe just come at level 40. But it's going to massively give you a DPS increase, and it's just going to make your character a lot more fun to play as well once you've got your first ascendancy, because the first ascendancy is usually quite a good point to get. An ascendancy is basically an improved version of your class. So if you're a ranger, it'll have like a dedicated like subclass in the ranger, and there's usually 3 subclasses for each class. Following the build guide, it'll just tell you exactly which one you need to do. So in the labyrinth, we've got these rooms. This room here, it signifies there's only one way out going into the next room. Sometimes they have a split off here, and then it comes down, so you've got like 2 exits in this area. In this zone, this one here, we've just got one that takes us straight into the Aspirant's Trial, which is the first boss fight. Over here, there will be a crafting recipe here, and it gives you resistances. And then you come up to here. We're going to click on this, and this is the Izaro boss fight. This is a 1 of 3 phase boss fight, and he does get a little bit more deadly each time that you face him. Just put down your ballistas, obviously try and kill all the adds that he's got as well. But if you die in this zone, you will have to start again back in the Sarn encampment. You just, yeah, you've got to go again. There's no getting around it, unfortunately. If you die, that is it. Start again. Not at the start of the game, just in Act 3. So just keep moving. Don't, try not to get hit by his slams. They do a lot of damage. And his kind of AoE, those green balls that he spits out, just be careful of them as well. If you get hit by like 4 or 5 of them, that'll probably be the death of you. So in here, there's a lot of traps. Like I said, be wary of the traps. A good tip for this zone is bring more than 1 life flask. If you can bring like 2 life flasks, you should be okay. And then some movement abilities as well. Something like Frost Blink, so you can dash between certain areas. So like that there. Just jumped over the whole area. I didn't have to get stuck in the middle. And go through the traps themselves. Okay, we've got some 4-link boots there. Ooh, our inventory's full, but I will drop them and pick up those boots. They do have these chests around the area as well, and it says the next conduit you interact with will be disabled permanently. The conduit was one of the things in the boss fight. So if you go in there, it'll basically be able to allow you to disable one of them when you first hit it. It'll just literally disable straight away. So I'll try and show you to see if there's 2 exits in this zone, just to try and explain how this works in a mapping sense, like mapped out. There's also a website called PoE Lab, and that shows you the layout each day. So here you can see we've got 2 exits, 2 ways to go. Just kill these guys. So this one, the Forgotten Reliquary, which we're in now, it'll take us, the Sepulture Passage will take us here. If we find the next exit, it'll bypass this room and just go to that next room. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Always try and find the shortest way through. Obviously, you don't want to having to faff around and go into 3 extra rooms. It just has more of a chance of dying. So there's just, you know, there's no point doing that. A lot of the things in this area as well will actually have like, oh, almost died there. Did you see that? That was actually so close. These things do a lot of damage. So try not to get hit by them. Try not to walk in the same direction as they're walking as well. We've just got a nice orb of alchemy. That's good. And as you can see, they've got some of these like mechanisms on the minimap. A lot of these are like switches. They'll open lock doors. Inside here, obviously, it's a bit more dangerous. But they might have something a bit more valuable at the end. So we've got a switch there. So you've just got to take it slow and steady. Don't rush through these zones. If you've got that movement ability, just use that. And this gives us now straight to the next round of the boss fight. So always look for the faster route. Always do it. Okay, so we've got cube absorption here. So if we interact with this conduit, it'll just disable it straight away.
Give up yet.
So stay out of his way. Okay, we use the Vile Rain of Arrows. Just keep on the move. Click those conduits as well. If they come up... Ooh! Did you see that damage there? That was absolutely crazy.
Such resilience.
Absolutely crazy. Half my HP in one hit. This guy does hit like a tank. Whew. Scared me a little bit there. Right, okay. Now we're into the kind of the last part of the lab now. It doesn't take very long to get through it, but if you're dying constantly, or you know you die once, you have to just start again. And this is kind of another trap zone, which is the furnace floor, I like to call it. These levers everywhere. You do have to click the levers. I would advise just having a look on the map to see where the levers are. Oh god, we're going to get burnt here. Some of these switches, they don't actually do anything apart from make the traps go further. So sometimes the switches aren't worth pressing. They're just trying to bait you into doing something you shouldn't do, basically. See, like all these switches here that were on the map, that's just going to open that middle door there. We don't even need to open it. We're already on the other side of it. But it's just there to trick you, just to try and make you spend more time on the furnace and more chance of dying, basically. So here we're going to go, okay, so there's a room up here and a room there. We're trying to get to this end point here. So if I just go to this room here, it's going to, the next room then is going to be to the boss fight. It's not always one room, then the boss, one room, then the boss. As you get through to the higher levels of the labs, it's going to be like 2 or 3 rooms, 3 or 4 rooms, and then a boss fight. Then another 2 or 3 rooms, then another boss fight. So they do make it a little bit longer. And the traps get more deadly. Yeah, as you get through. But obviously, a little bit higher level, you're going to have more movement ability. You're going to have, you know, increased movement speed. You might even have a lot more HP, some physical damage reduction. So you'll be better off, obviously. Okay, so we're just looking for the zone. Ooh. Always watching your HP. See, I didn't even notice these things on the floor there. You can see they've got like these little marks on the floor. So if you do see them, that indicates that there are going to be these big razors coming out. Very, very deadly. So this is not the way we want to go. So now we've got to head back, and I'm guessing it's over that way. So on the way back, a little bit more careful because I'm not looking to get killed. Oof. Bit of high octane gameplay there. We're going to go this way instead. Okay, this lever opens this door. Is it worth going in? Let's check it out. Ah, it was just a long way instead of going through there. See, some of them are just absolute waste of time, some of these levers. They don't take you anywhere worthwhile. They'll take you to the exactly same place you could have gone without pressing it. That's GGG for you. They know how to make a good game, you know. They waste your time. They try and get you killed. That's good game design. And here we are, the final part of the aspirant's trial.
An aspirant can afford to be promising.
So, let me just check. We haven't got any upgrades before we go in, have we? More life, less evasion. So even though life is good, I'd rather keep my evasion. Yeah, no, that's not good either. Just quickly check the DPS. 498, 437. Yeah, not even close. Okay. Right. So let's get into this now. Try not to die.
Empire awaits you with
In this third fight, they do have traps rolling around in here as well. So be very, very careful, because if you get hit by him and then at the same time then you get damaged, that could be certain death. Oof. See, my evasion allowed me to get... I didn't get hit by that. Even though I was stood right where he hit, my evasion didn't allow it to hit me. So having evasion, that is basically what it does. It stops, you know, not all the time, but it may stop you from being damaged from some abilities that look like they blatantly hit you.
claim your inheritance.
Okay, this should kill him now.
The trap
There we go.
tyranny is
Okay, so some interesting things that you want to get from him. You always want to pick up the treasure key. And then obviously just picking up anything you think is going to be valuable. I can see this bone armor has 222 evasion already, which is better than mine. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. I can ID it. And already that's a big upgrade. It's not got a crazy amount of life, but the evasion rating that's got, I'm going to go ahead and take that. Equip that there. Again, my life's reduced from 818 to 788. I'm losing, you know, a good amount of life, but I'm gaining a lot of evasion. So I picked up one treasure key throughout the whole thing. You can pick up more if you went to every single room and explored it all thoroughly, but you know there's more chance of dying. And you just click basically one of these chests. I always go for this one. It just feels lucky to me. This time it's given me nothing really. You come up to here, which is a divine font. What you do is you put your skill gem in there, and you can either transform a skill to a transfigured gem of the same color. You don't need a transfigured gem unless your POB says. Otherwise, just add some quality to the gem. If you hold Alt on a gem, you can see that it's bringing up this text, additional effects from quality. It fires +0 to 4 arrows. So quality goes up to 20%, and at every 5% of quality, you'll gain a certain thing. In this case, it'll be 1 extra arrow for every 5% quality. So I'm just going to add 2% quality onto it. Oh, can't. It's corrupted. Okay, makes sense. I will then do it. If I hold Alt on these skill gems, it says increase elemental damage with attack skills, increase cold damage. I will go for elemental damage with attacks, add some quality to that one. Yeah, so it's giving me 1% increased elemental damage with attack skills. So 1%, better than nothing, but I will quality those up kind of every time I come in here. Now, this is the main reason that you're here. This is the Altar of Ascendancy. You click on this, and this gives you your 3 subclasses that you can choose from, okay? You pick whatever one your build says, and these give you some really, really powerful nodes that you're not going to get from anybody, you know, any part of the skill tree apart from this place. And this is the main reason why it's important. It's, you know, any build any class in this game can play with any skill gem, and they can use any ability, and that is true. But the ascendancies is what changes every class dramatically compared to other classes. You know, you start at a different place on the tree, fair enough, okay? So you're not going to always be getting as much like strength if you started on this side of the tree as what I've got. Obviously, I'm on like the dex side of the tree here, like I said earlier. If I wanted a strength stacking build, you know, it would be a lot better for me to start as a marauder or a duelist down here, or maybe even a Templar. So this is the part that's going to really change your build, is choosing one of these. So obviously follow the build guide, just take whatever it says, but yeah, that's basically the trials and the lab. That's been Act 3 as well. So yeah, I'm going to leave that with you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. Comment in the section down below if you're really enjoying these. I don't know if I should maybe like change up the videos, maybe do something a little bit different, maybe like do some videos about the builds that I'm playing themselves instead of the walkthrough. But just let me know, see if there needs anything improving. So until next one, thank you very much for watching, and peace.